Hello, everyone. It's the Illuminati. I'm letting the people know. Most people don't understand religion, don't understand God. A lot of people think it's a bunch of hogwash. And it's not. If you truly understand God's word, it's supposed to make you humble, polite, good, and humane. But it's also supposed to make you tough and strong, and a strong warrior. So that when wickedness comes at you in life, because the more wicked people behave as a society and as a world, the more wickedness is going to come to you in life, that you can be a strong warrior. And you train spiritually, physically, if you can, to fight evil. I train. I always train even on a physical level now the best I can, so if wickedness comes at me, I can defeat that evil. And that doesn't always mean violence. It means, by whatever godly means necessary. But if you come attack me on a physical level, I will hurt you on a physical level if possible, because I'm not going to be your victim. Being humble is being humble to God and God's humane ways, not being humble to some unfair leader or unfair dictator, boss, whatever you want to call him, CEO. That's not about being humble to him. You're supposed to be working against him, fighting for justice and truth in a society and in the world. Because if no one fights for justice and truth in the world, and no one wants to do good or be about goodness in the world, according to God, there'll be no goodness in the world. You'll be in servitude to your leader and any unfair policies he wants to make. And I don't like being like that. I don't like being in servitude to somebody and I'm suffering and they're living all lavish, enjoying themselves off my harsh servitude. God doesn't want that for people. Evil man wants that for people. So it's about being humane, good, fair, just, but also being tough and strong. So when difficulties come your way, you don't start destroying yourself with sin, because sin is weakness. See, most people don't look at sin like that. Sin is weakness. The more you sin, the weaker you are. On a spiritual level, on a mental level, and you become weaker on a physical level. Because sin breeds your own destruction and society's destruction. So God's word is about being strong. And if you truly understand it that way, which I know religion doesn't like to teach it that way, because I always say religion, the power structure, they don't like this kind of religion I teach, because they don't want a bunch of revolutionaries running around here. They want people that'll get in line and let them be fat and happy and stay in power. Wrong or right. And that's not what religion's supposed to do. God's word and his holy books are the true law books of life. The humane truth and the humane law of life. Okay, now it evolves over time, and this is why I write this New World's Testament, which is on the website, because it's to teach people how to have a good society. If no one knows what it takes to make a good society, well, we all sit around trying to figure out what makes a good society, and everybody's got their own idea of a good society that allows them to do the sin they want, and it leaves nothing but fighting and chaos and everything else. So God gives us teachings on what makes a good society, and that's what I elaborate on in the sermons the Lord allows me to write in this holy book, to explain to people what makes a good society economically, what makes a good society socially. Because all these things come down to people's behavior. And in a wicked society, if you ain't tough and strong, you'll get crushed and eaten, gobbled up. It's just like no different than if you went to war. and you didn't know how to fire your gun, and you weren't in shape, and you couldn't run, and you couldn't do it, if it's time for hand-to-hand combat, you couldn't do it, and the enemy comes and kills you real easy. Whereas if you was a good warrior, you might very well come out alive. You see, but to be like that takes mental toughness, and it takes physical toughness. You want to be as physically strong and good and tough as you can be. You want to be a good person. You don't become physically strong and tough to be some jerk that goes around there picking on the weak. Because any jerk can pick on weak people. Any jerk can bully weak people. That's not what it's about. It's about standing up for what's right. Standing up for what's just. And that's what's important in life. Because like I say, it's not important. You could have all the riches in the world. Okay? People had to tolerate you. Smart man like me, you can have all the riches in the world. If I'm your peasant servant, when you die, I'm gonna say that's a good thing. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna cry over you. It's a good thing when you die. Maybe I can get something, since you would never let me have something. Being good and humane, easing human suffering, fighting for justice, and that doesn't always mean physical violence. Is the way. And that's what the world has to learn. What truly makes people important. Because the ungodly world thinks the people who hoard all the money are important. When often they're not. They're just teaching self-destruction and using people. And getting people to do evil things for them so they can get some of their money. Okay, that makes when you do evil because somebody's going to give you some money, that makes you a brown nose. Makes you a brown nose. Brown nose and jackass. There's no polite way to say it. So I hope people turn to God and realize God is here to make you strong. True religion is about making you strong. Strong, disciplined person. A disciplined person. Discipline comes from wisdom and strength. Inner wisdom and strength is what makes you a disciplined person, because you understand the reason to live a disciplined life. You realize it protects you and it doesn't hurt other innocent people. That's why it pays for people to live a good disciplined life. So I hope everybody repents and turns to God. If you haven't lost your soul, and have a good day.